Pero yung isa, kompleto sa litrato, kompleto sa video, nung pinamigay yung item, so hindi to ghost, tatanggapin nyo yung explanation or at the very least, titignan nyo yung explanation, di ba?
Opo,
So
opo.
case per case po ito.
Opo,
No?
opo.
I say that, ma'am, kasi mismong sa affidavit ng ating Vice Presidente, tignan nyo po nakalagay dito. Each phase, this is paragraph 10.10. Each phase of the project was submitted for contract review by the COA in March 2008, March 2009, December 2010, October 2011, and March 2013, which found the contract amounts and contract costs are reasonable, being within allowable limit of variance pursuant to COA Resolution 9152 dated September 17, 91. Ang alam ko, ma'am, na COA Resolution 9152, yung percentage ng variance, hindi yung cost ng bawat item o ng
Opo,
building.
opo,
Di ba?
opo.
So kung halimbawa 25% yung variance, so sinabi lang ng COA, 20% variance nyo, so pasok yan. Hindi sinabing reasonable ang cost ng buong building.
Opo. Thank you, Senator. Your Honor, let me pick up from that. No, again, just to put things in perspective. Tama po kayo na yung sinecertify o yung contract review on the reasonableness of the cost, I think is really a misnomer, because the basis of our technical people in making that determination yung submissions din po ng ahensya ng say quantities, bill of materials, etc. Cost, ganon. Again, I will go back to a lack of capacity in basically to determine whether how many steel bars will be used for a project, how many bags of cement, how many this and that, how many board feet of lumber, and so forth and so on. So, yun po hindi po namin, wala po kaming kakayanan doon. Kasi I think that is an expertise of a quantity surveyor. And that is tama po ba, quantity surveyor po yan, no? And that is an expertise that we don't have. So, I would say that it is a misnomer. Can I zero in on this particular case lang po, no? Kasi, in spite of the fact na hindi namin kayang busisihin yon, no? Meron naman mga ibang bagay-bagay sa kontrata o sa mga papeles na dapat namin makita. At ito, for example, dito, yung agency estimate po ng Makati, dito sa Makati Science Building, per our files, no, I'm speaking on the basis of records kasi wala pa po ako doon at wala akong personal knowledge nung mga panahon na yon. But, and these are documented, the agency estimate was only something like 348,669,000. This was the estimate of the city of Makati itself for a 10-story science building with a 4-story dormitory. And this was based on the estimate prepared by Rosemary Umol, who was Chief Planning Division, and submitted by Mr. Morales, the city engineer, and approved by the city mayor. So, itong agency...
What date, ma'am? What date? Kung meron po, kung klaro po doon.
I think we do, and I think we may have a copy of that particular.
So again, can you repeat the amount, ma'am? The estimate
agency
mismo?
Estimate po was 348,669,000. 669,000, tama.
And then
this is for a 10.
Yes, 10-story.
10-story building.
Plus
with a 4-story dormitory. Ito po yung aming, pwede ho namin kayong bigyan.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, pagkaintindi ninyo yun, sa 10-story building with a 4-story dormitory, 2 structures na 10 floors and 4 floors, o sa 10 floors, 4 doon ay dormitory? Ano pong pagkaintindi nyo?
Okay. Mukhang kasi yung kanilang, mukhang dormitory is, there's a dormitory on the ground floor consisting of 711 square meters, And then from the second to the fourth floor, meron ding dormitory daw na aggregating 2,133 square meters, no? Kaya po itong total dormitory floor area na further estimate na 2,844, kung idadagdag po natin dun sa floor area ng the rest of the building, actually we will come up to 23,000 square meters. So malapit po dun sa mga sinasabi po nila kanina, no? So that is that
Can you give us a date, ma'am? Yung date, meron na ba? May nakita nyo? Yung pag-fix nila ng amount, alam namin when they fix 300 something in year.
No, the date of the study. Well, it's undated.
Dated, but Engineer Morales pa po yun, ano? So sa time ni Engineer Morales.
Pero ito po ang naging basis.
Yeah, ma'am, the former Makati officials can help us, give us the service, the years of service of Engineer Morales. So alam natin kung more or less kailan. Sige ma'am, continue.
Pero ito pong figure na to at itong estimate na ito ang lumabas na naging basehan ng City of Makati nung nag-procure po sila ng design services. There was an invitation to architects to submit the proposals for this proposed project, and the invitations were sent on September 17, 2007. So siguro shortly before September 2007, nagawa itong estimate na to. And then, the following day, invitation to submit proposals were sent on September 17, 2007, which were received by most of the participating firms in the afternoon of the same day. And then the following day, September 18, 2007, binuksan na yung kanilang mga proposals. At ang nanalo nga po dito, yung Infinity Services. Okay, so, ako po, personally, nung nakita ko yung mga dokumento, what caught my attention was while the estimate and on the basis of which the contract for design was procured was only 348,669,000, parang after several years, payments were already 1.3 billion. So parang paano naging 1.3 itong proyekto na to na samantalang nung umpisa, what they had in mind and what they wanted to build, the agency itself, which is Makati, was only going to be worth 348.6 million pesos. So, like in the case of the parking building, the contracts were bidded out in phases. So, 6 nga po ito, no? Yung unang phase, which was bidded out in November of 2007 and awarded in January of 2008, the approved budget for the contract was 99.9 million. Well, it's very well within the 348, no? So, it doesn't call any attention to itself. It's well within. But the point nga is, as it turned out, naging 6 yung phases. I think that at the very beginning, there was no indication at all how many phases that whole project would be. The next phase, phase 2, was, the ABC was about 175 million. And then phase 3 was 150 million. So dito pa lang sa 3 phases na to, kumbaga, na-reach na yung unang estimate na 348.6 million. Okay lang po yun kasi may mga cost overruns naman tayo. Pero nagpatuloy Phase 4, Phase 5, Phase 6. So, ako po, ang tinatanong ko sa aming mga technical people ngayon, maski hindi tayo marunong sa quantity surveying, no? Dito pa lang, siguro, nagtaka na tayo. Bakit? meron pa, samantalang yung konsepto talaga nito nung umpisa, mga 350 million lang. Bakit tayo nandito na sa point na to? Now, I haven't gotten the answers, but I hope that that could be the reason why we don't have any technical inspection reports for these other phases. But definitely, the question has never been raised in any of the audits that have so far been made in the city of Makati. I would like to say that dito po yung ito po yung mga tinatawag naming red flags, just like in the case of the parking building. May mga sa dokumento pa lang, wala pa pong audit ito, kung tutuusin, pero these are already the things that catch our attention and compel us to really look into this matter at nang maipaliwanag din po namin kung maintindihan namin kung bakit po nagkaganito. Let me say here, and I think that this is very important, we are not making any judgment that the building is overpriced or not. No, we are not in a position to make any such conclusion at this point in time. All I'm saying is that so far, with the records we have on file, ay may mga rason po talagang, mga matitinding rason kung bakit talagang kailangan namin balikan ito.
Madam Chair, are you saying you are simply asking the right questions so that you will be able to come to a conclusion, no? Whether or not it is overpriced, no?
I hope so. Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And that's what we're also trying to do, ma'am, no? To ask the right questions. Hindi ko na po isa-isahin po yung sa affidavit ni Vice President dahil nasagot nyo na po yung marami dito katulad ng presumption of regularity, yung mga COA reviews, sila na mismo nagsabi, technical persons, that hindi 100% ang review nila, no? But sa kanyang affidavit, pinapalabas niya na yung buong project, or in 10.11, no? The project was 100% completed, it was verified, each phase, etc. But mismong mga taga-COA na nakaupo dito sa kaliwa ko na nagsabing they're only allowed to audit, was that 60 or 70% of the project. So my point, Mr. Chair, is nasagot na naman lahat ng nasa affidavit. So para hindi umaba. But Madam Chair, that's why I keep asking you and these questions kasi sa inyo takot sa inyo at ang ombudsman takot ang mga korap, no? Lalo sa mga reforma na ginagawa nyo. Buti po kung ang nanonood lang po sa ating hearing ay mga madre, pare, pastor, imam, mga tao na gusto ng pagbabago. Alam nyo ma'am, pati mga korap nanonood sa atin ngayon At ang problema sa Pilipinas, pagka may maganda at reformang nagawa, hindi automatic na gagayahin ng iba. Pero pag may corruption o may scam o scheme na nakitang nagwo-work at malaki ang kinikita, ginagaya ng iba. Kaya importante ho sa amin tatlo na pag may nabuko tayo during this hearing na scam, we send the message na anuman municipality ka, anuman senador ka man, congressman ka, ikukulong ka. Diba? That's what you did sa pork scam, diba? And masakit dahil makasamahan din namin, dahil institusyon tinamaan, kahit kami hindi individually. But we understood that you have to send the message that no one is above the law, no? On that point, ma'am, first, we suggested in the last few hearings yung pong maging isa sa basis po ng COA din, not as a Bible, no? Not inibig sabihin na lahat nakasulat dito is 100% accurate, but as a reference, no? Yung presyo, itong handbook sa construction. Can I also propose, ma'am, or bring to your attention another thing? It's a simple mechanism that I used when I was a first-term congressman, no? Ang problema ko nung first-term congressman, wala akong alam masyado sa construction. Hindi ko alam yung variance ng presyo, hindi ko kilala yung district engineer, hindi ko kilala kung sino yung mga contractors doon, anong pinag-uusapan nila, no? So, sa madaling sabi, like you said, ma'am, no, kung hindi ka expert doon, baka madali kang lokohin. So, simple lang sinabi ko sa staff ko, ganito gawin natin, kumuha ka ng 50, kunin mo yung plano, para sa umpisa pa lang bago gawin, may kopya ka na, para hindi nila pwedeng baguhin. Number 2, kunan mo ng picture 0%, 25%, 50%, 75%, at 100%. Buti na lang, ma'am, yan ang naging sistema namin dahil nung naging senador ako, may napagbibigyan kami sa probinsya na palalabasing gawa na, yung pala dati ng court yun nagawa na. Kaya lang, nung hiningan ko kasi ng 0%, 50 at 100, walang mapakita na 0 at saka 50. Iba yung lugar, no? So, dati ma'am, medyo mahirap. 1998 nung naging congressman ako kasi mahal pa yung mga digital camera. Pero ngayon po, sa cellphone mismo, may GPS na rin eh. So, pagkuha mo ng picture, naka-imprint na rin dun sa digital copy kung ano yung area na yon kung nasaan. So, mahirap na rin i-photoshop o baguhin. So, it's a simple system, ma'am. But baka, and in fact, hindi naman kailangan taga-COA. Pwedeng i-require sa agency yon, di ba? Na kung new construction, 0%, 25 yan. Kung repair, kunan nyo muna yung i-repair, no? Meron ma'am na iba mahirap pa rin, halimbawa drainage, di ba? Kasi nasa ilalim ng lupa yon. But meron makatulad nitong mga buildings na to na baka makatulong ma'am na yung we have a simple but practical system like that, no? Lastly ma'am, total laki ng tinulong niyo sa committee. Let me give this opportunity to you. Parati niyo sinasabi yung pagkukulang ng COA and kami naman nagpapasa ng budget niyo ng Kongreso. I heard 700 million ba yung kinat sa budget niyo na hinihingi niyo sana. Can I give you 1 or 2 minutes to explain to us what will that cover and why do you need that money? And hopefully we'll be able to convince our colleagues no, to be supportive. Kasi pagka may mali ang COA o may inaudit kayo na tingin naming mali, kayo sinisisi namin. Pero actually, hinihingi nyo nga yung budget para nga magawa nyo yung trabaho nyo. So let me give this opportunity, Mr. Chairman, with your permission, 1 minute or 2 minutes to explain their budget.
And also, please inform us how many personnel you have also.
Thank you, sir. Yung pong tapyas sa aming budget ay nasa capital outlay. I don't know exactly how much was our capital outlay requirement, no? But anyway, parang 700,000 lang yung binigay sa amin. So, tinapyasan po kami ng several hundred million of requested funds. Ito po sana ay aming gagamitin para sa 3 major projects, no? Una, yung tinatawag po naming provincial satellite offices. Kasi po ngayon, may mga regional offices kami. Pero, kung minsan, most of the time, yung regional office, malayo dun sa mga ibang probinsya comprising the region, no? Ang mga auditors po namin, nasa lahat ng mga agencies, no? Isa sa mga gusto naming gawin, ako nung una pa lang gusto ko nang gawin, i-pull in lahat ng aming mga auditors. Kasi nga po, yung sistema ngayon na nakababad yung aming mga auditors sa mga ahensya, delikado kasi ito po yung naging source ng maraming questionable alliances, ano? Kaya dapat talaga i-pull in. Ang problema po namin, saan namin sila dadalhin? Kaya nga naisipan po namin na magkaroon kami ng mga provincial satellite offices para at least kada probinsya meron sana kaming opisina na mapaglalagyan sa kanila. I think that for 2015, nag-target kami ng mga 20 na pisaw, no? And the cost of 1 pisaw is something like 50 million or maybe less. Kasi standard naman po yung itsura niya, no? So, yun po natanggal. Although we're in the process now of going from one province to another at may mga probinsya na po na nagbigay sa amin ng lupa, government din, no, sa mga government centers, at doon nga sana namin ilalagay yung aming pisaw. Pero natanggal po yung budget namin doon. Pangalawa, yung aming the other thing pa pala ho about the pisaw is para gawin po din naming paglagyan ng aming mga records sa probinsya kasi meron po kaming custodial function, di ba? Lahat ng mga vouchers. We are in a very sorry state of document management because we don't have the space, we don't have the system. Makikita po natin sa mga probinsya, sako-sako ang pinaglalagyan. And especially with all of these things that are happening, it's very dangerous because we are in fact losing documents. In fact, if I may say, no, I just received a report yesterday that one of the places or the quote-unquote warehouses that we've been using for some Makati documents has been opened. And we don't know, we're still in the process of checking kung nandun pa ba lahat yung mga dapat na nandun sa bodega na yon, no? So it's very, kasi we also use the agency's
Ma'am, if I may
premises.
interrupt, no? That's precisely why I asked you the question, yung sa documents. I heard, not from you, no? From outside sources, na muntik pang ma-dismiss yung case ni Mrs. Binay because yung original COA report, and by the way, na-testify din
Na-explain
dito
na
yun
po,
ni Miss Heidi Mendoza,
Opo, opo.
ay nawawala.
Opo.
No? And imagine, yung lahat ng ginastos ng gobyerno sa isang kaso, no? And we're not talking about the Binays, any public official,
yes.
no? At hindi katulad halimbawa ng Senado at Kongreso, wala naman dito yung files ng audit. Pero halimbawa sa isang provincial hall, city hall, nandyan yung files eh. At yung opisina nyo doon ay paggamit lang sa inyo. So pag umuwi kayo sa gabi at pinasok ng security yon at kinuha yung files, di ba? Pwedeng mabaliwala yung buong kaso, no? Or kaya pwedeng nakarinig ako nung iba, bubutasan yung kisame para pag bumagyo umulan, basa lahat. So hindi halata pero nawala na lahat ng files. But just for the record, Mr. Chairman, no, there was a World Bank study, although this has been some years ago, hopefully bumaba na to. But for every peso collected daw in the Philippines, 40 centavos goes to corruption. So even if we say na bumaba na to sa 10 centavos, no? If we're going to collect 2 trillion pesos in taxes next year and 10% goes to corruption, that's 200 billion. Siguro naman yung hinihingi ng COA na 700 million para bantayan na hindi manakaw yung 200 million na to ay kailangan na kailangan. And by the way, ma'am, no? Yun yung 10 cents na nawawala sa piso. Meron naman isang study na for every peso collected, 2 pesos is not collected. No? Because of several reasons. So, I just like to emphasize, Mr. Chair, that yung reforms na ipropropose netong committee na to will really include supporting the reforms of the Commission on Audit. And mas alam nila yung practical eh. Katulad niyan, no? Sa debate natin at sa batas, wala naman dyan nakalagay tungkol sa physical premises or buildings or offices ng COA. Pero tama kayo, ma'am. A temporary office na hindi under your control, or especially under the control nung ino-audit nyo, napaka delikado. No? So, thank you for that, ma'am. And Mr. Chair, I'd like to pursue that point in the future. No?
Mr. Chairman,
Senator Trillanes.
yes, may good news lang ako kay COA Chairman Grace Pulidutan. Ma'am, according kay Senator Chis Escudero, he just informed me that na-restore na pala doon sa Senate version yung inyong nawala na 348 million itong minention ni Senator Chis Escudero. And I believe we have a consensus, we are in agreement that dadagdagan pa natin yung pondo ninyo para nga magampanan nyo po yung inyong trabaho. That's a commitment, ma'am.
Maraming salamat.
How many personnel do you have, ma'am? And how many of these are performing auditing functions?
I think right now we have about 9,000 people and about 80% po are audit personnel.
So, yun na yung mga resident auditors plus your technical audit
Apa.
specialist.
Ay, hindi pa po kasama yata ang technical doon. Mga auditors lang po talaga yung bulk
Hindi, why? Yung mga technical ba are not COA employees?
They are po, but
so
they're
part
not
of the
they're part of the
they're part of the
9,000,
9,000.
yes.
And they're part of the 80%. Yeah, auditing.
I think so.
Auditing.
Yes, opo.
Hindi, pero pinopoint out ko nga kay Senator Trillanes, ma'am, na he has pointed out 2 buildings to us. The Makati Parking Building and this Makati Science High School building. Siya po yung nagpo-point out ng mga buildings eh. And you're confirming that you're seeing red flags in the 2 buildings that he has pointed out. So, talo niya auditors nyo. Paano po nangyari yun?
Salamat po.
Paano po nangyari yun? Yun lang gusto ko malaman na before these buildings were pointed out by Senator Trillanes, wala po kayong findings because of the issues that he has raised. Then you revisited your documents. Now you're finding red flags.
Yes, sir. Actually, yun pong parking building, even before the Senate inquiry was conducted, meron na pong kaming tiningnan because we received a complaint. There's another Makati building I probably will not say it at this point in time at hindi pa naman na ganun din, no? Because we encourage the public to uh, to tell us what is happening that we probably should look into. So, meron din po. But quietly lang naman po kami, and then yun nga nangyari na nagkaroon tayo po ng inquiry na ito, kaya yun.
But don't mention the third building. Tignan natin kung makakuha ni
Mahuhulaan
Senator
niya?
Trillanes yan. Tignan natin.
Mr. Chair, but just by the way, hindi rin naman po totoo na never walang nahuli sa Makati. Nung nandun po si Heidi Mendoza, ay nahuli. Pero ang problema nga ay nagalit pa yung mga nandun at hanggang ngayon, di ba, 2 beses pinasok yung bahay niya and everything. So, I think, ma'am, total, you have the ears of the senators and the congressmen. Narinig niyo yung sinabi ni Senator Trillanes, no? Baka pati yung security ninyo, medyo pag-aralan niyo at pondohan niyo ng konti. Kasi kung yung mismong commissioner ay pwedeng takutin, sundan na bantayan yung bahay, isipin niyo naman po yung auditor or technical specialist niyo.
Salamat po.
Mr. Cuervo, you wanted to give us some inputs?
Just going back at cost now, because I heard that anything that's underground cannot be, estimated. Actually, it can be, because if we, let's say, ask for experienced geologists, they can tell you the bearing capacity of the soil in that location, and actually tests can also be made, and foundation specialists can give you the proper design using ASTM standards. So you can't go very far from that, Actually, just civil engineering graduate can do the computations for that. So that's a fact. So we can't go far from the structural design that's required to carry the load of the building.
No, but for example, Mr. Cuervo, Hillmarks, which constructed the parking building, it engaged a foundation specialist. Tama? In planning, and in actually siguro laying the foundation for the building.
Yes, but what I'm saying is there should be another foundation specialist
Yes,
to
kasi
come up with a proper design.
right, because theoretically speaking, a foundation specialist can also conspire with the contractor to over-design on paper, pero not actually put the piles. Pwede po ba yan?
Well, I'm not. Because I'm not comparing.
Theoretically.
Yeah, I'm not assuming that there is an over-design until you compute and come up with the figure, and then later on, if they claim to have something else, then just anybody can make the decision of if there is an over-design.
No, but I remember you using the phrase extremely over-designed for
Yes.
the parking building.
That
Tama mo
is
ba yan?
the-
Or are you withdrawing that statement?
No. That is the feedback coming from the quantity surveyors that have experience in this type of buildings. They saw that there was excessive design on the foundation. Well, this thing can be computed, no? You just need the bearing capacity of the soil, and any foundation specialist can give you the correct design of for the foundation.
Mr. Chair, let me thank Mr. Federico Cuervo. No? You've done so much help for this committee. Tama po. So, basically, you're saying everything is quantifiable. Now, if only more LGUs, engineers, contractors use Federico Cuervo instead of Jose Cuervo, no? Mas madami ngayon yung inuman pagka nakakasingil sa kontrata kaso sa yung tinitignan na tinaayos yung mga project. Seriously, sir, thank you very much. And also Architect Alano. Mr. Chair, the Secretary of DAR is here, but I have heard that they have an inspection with on Friday. So with his, I don't want to hold up. I know he has a lot of work. So unless
Ganito. We'll go on a short break muna, but when we come back, Secretary of DAR, and then, but we have here the SEC
Yes.
chairperson and the Hans Sikat of the Philippine Stock Exchange. But
as far as I'm concerned, Mr.
yeah.
Chair, may I make a manifestation for their
for,
presence?
if we can let them go, if we're
Yes,
not asking
Mr.
questions.
Chu
of
is
the
not
speaker.
here today, and I'd prefer that they be here because he made certain statements that I know for a fact is either a lie or he's wiggling out of it. Technical yung mga definitions, no? Katulad ng disclosures o kaya ng due diligence. So, but I also don't want the SEC or the PSE to make judgment or to say statements that will be interpreted as judgment. No, parang resource person kayo to say nga whether that is the definition of due diligence. Nag-comply ba under your circulars? So since wala rin naman si Mr. Chu here, unless they do have statements to make, with their permission and indulgence, may we invite them at a future time. No? And just with the assurance that they are in fact doing their own quiet investigations and monitoring this hearing, Mr. Chair.
Oh, sige. So, except si Chairperson Herbosa, ma'am, you mentioned you committed that you'll submit a certain report to this subcommittee. Have you done so?
Yes, in fact, I think last Friday, Your
bigay niyo
Honor,
na
we
pa.
submitted all the findings that we have had.
Preliminary lang po yun, ano?
Just preliminary.
Yes.
Lang. Thank you.
Sige.
Mr. Chair, can I just get that assurance also from PSC that you are in fact monitoring these hearings and are also looking into the publicly listed companies that have been mentioned in this hearing?
Good morning, Mr. Chairman. Excuse me. Clearly from the PSE, as with all companies the public listed companies that are under our purview, we constantly monitor either submissions, disclosures, as well as statements. And I think even as we may not be, how would I call it, real-time announcing to the public what we're doing, clearly we have processes that we undertake such that hopefully we're able to ensure that the information that is given to the investing public is actually accurate and fair and complete.
We are excusing Mr. Sicat and Chairperson Herbosa. Thank you for your presence. We will invite you again to a future hearing where we will subpoena Mr. Tony Chu and require him to be there. So let's go on a 2-minute break, and then when we come back, Secretary De Los Reyes, and then Vice Mayor Mercado, you have something to contribute this hearing, no? Sige po. So let's have a 2-minute break.